and pretty much my little experiment, which I was doing, hoping to relate to more people, because S&P 500, which is what the MES represents, is more relatable because that's what we use to basically refer to the market. Basically cost me a negative $79.17 per hour. How's it going? It's Rocky. Welcome to week number 15 of what I call my 5 to 9 after the 9 to 5. So the chart I'm showing this week for the high level summary is a little different. I switched it up a little. What I'm showing is a 2-year 1-day chart. So what does that mean? It means that the whole screen that you're seeing is 2 years and each candlestick represents 1 day. And you may have noticed that I am trading the MES. Typically I trade the MYM, but since it's a short week, Friday tomorrow is essentially Good Friday, so the markets are closed. I decided to try something a little different and trade the MES because I had thought that with the MES being related to the S&P 500, which is your typical measure of how the market is doing, I thought maybe there'd be more interest. Stick around and see what actually happened for the week. And for the chart here, you can see that I used to trade the MES a lot. So you can see all these trades that occurs on the left here. And this is pretty much in the year of 2020. The last time that I actually traded the MES was around February of 2021. And as you notice, no trades at all in 2021, the rest of 2021 for the MES, and of course none in the beginning of 2022 until this week. And what you'll notice to the right is that's when I started trading the MES for this week. And we're just going to switch up these charts a little bit and restore the cells. So these are the two that I normally look at. I'll look at the long-term 1 year. And on the right is my 90-day 1-hour chart, which is what I've been showing every week. So for that one, we are going to zoom in for that trade. And we're going to zoom in for this week. So our chart now is going to show this week. And essentially here, we actually started our journey on the MES pretty strong. I even did a couple of shorts on it. I have a link above on this first trade here, just 4 contracts. I shorted 4 contracts and had a net profit of $254.24. And then our second trade here was a long, and essentially that was a net profit of $265.22. And I forgot to turn on the lines. Let me just put that back on. And then here is our third trade here. Our third trade, one of the best MES trades we had for the week, was a total 10 contracts where we did go long. And that was the net profit of $728.10. So at that point of the week, we were already above $1,200. Everything was great. Until, of course, I made a bit of a tiny mistake towards the end here. I pretty much misjudged it a little bit, and no excuse really, other than I'm really not used to the numbers with the MES. So with the MYM, as you know, I did it daily. I know where to put my trailing stops, where my stops and whatnot. But no excuse. Anyway, for this one, I did put an OCO for parts of it. So I was topped out on that, and that was a loss of $455.65. And then, of course, I went through the bad habits that comes around once in a while. And, one of the reasons that could really ruin an account, but kept adding to the bottom, hoping I'd be able to recover. And not a lot of sense of control. And that ended up giving us a mark-to-market loss of, for trade number 5, as I'd like to call this one, negative $3,958.79. Our trade analysis will be on trade number 3, which gave us a net profit of $728.10. For this series, I decided to just focus on showing you a positive trade. I know you can learn a lot from a losing trade, but best to just focus on the positive trade this week because the losing trade had a mark to market, which means I still have contracts that I'm holding on to it. So I'll summarize that hopefully next week when I finally close all of those contracts. It'll be a better way to analyze it. So for this one, we entered at about 7:30 p.m. on this trade. We opened with 6 contracts going long on the MES. And the reason for that, well, at that point, while the MACD is above the zero line, and I had seen a crossover occur at that time. Pulled the trigger a little early, but that's okay. Stochastic RSI was on the overbought side. And then if you look at the time-based side, the MACD at that point also had crossover. You can't see it here. And of course, the stochastic RSI was also on the overbought side, a little more pronounced, but also you couldn't really see it right here. And it was actually, even though the next 10 minutes of that was a dip, it ended up being a good entry because, it actually, we could have exited at about, 4 points, which is 16 ticks, which is quite good for the MES. I can't mentally do the math for you because I'm not used to it, but essentially a tick with one contract will gain you $1.25. And basically for 4 ticks, which is 1.125 times 4 is $5. So that's one way of mentally doing the math a lot easier, just $5 per point per contract for the MES. Anyway, so with this one, it ended up being a longer trade a little bit. I started to dip, and it just, I give myself enough cash to be able to average down should my entry be not a good entry. So I always leave about 3 rounds of cash to basically rescue myself from it. And so I added 4 more contracts from it. And a lot of these really was being dictated by what I was seeing in the hourly chart. So I'm going to switch it to the hourly chart here. And if we look here, the main reason I was so bullish is if we look at this hourly chart, the crossover had just occurred before that. I was seeing the divergence and I was seeing it trending up. So really, that's one of the confirmations that I was using that gave me confidence to keep going with this one. So, I placed my usual OCOs on there, and we did hit the top a little bit here and exited around 10:55 p.m. with 10 contracts. And that's what gave us a net profit of $728.10. So for our account statement, I am recording this on Thursday, April 14th. It's about 6:33 p.m. Market is closed. That's why if you look at the list on the left here, nothing is moving because tomorrow is a Good Friday. And the account statement I'm showing here starts from Sunday the 10th to today, Thursday the 14th. And if we look through the description here, you can see I didn't deposit or withdraw anything. However, we did have this mark-to-market that occurred today, and that was a mark-to-market loss of $3,945. So basically, I am holding on to some contracts over the 3-day weekend, and hopefully we can close that out sometime early next week. So our ending cash for the week is $20,528.45, and our starting cash for the week was $23,695.33. So essentially our total for the week for pretty much experimenting with the MES was negative $3,166.88. And just to be consistent, we'll divide that by 40 hours, which is the typical full-time amount of hours you work in the US. And pretty much my little experiment, which I was doing, hoping to relate to more people, because S&P 500, which is what the MES represents, is more relatable because that's what we use to basically refer to the market. Basically cost me a negative $79.17 per hour. And for the percentage on this, just to see how this really did, so our loss of $3,166.88, divided that by our starting cash of $23,695.33, multiply that by 100 and it's a double digit. So really we lost 13.36% for the week. Anyway, this is, our second week out of the 15 weeks in 2022 that we have a red week. And basically, it's still pretty good 2022 so far. I'm hoping to recover from it next week. And once I close the contracts, then I can do a bit of more of an analysis of what caused us to be in this hole at the end of the week. Anyway, hopefully you liked and enjoyed the content. Please have a long weekend if you do have tomorrow, the Good Friday off. Have a good Easter weekend if you do celebrate Easter. And hopefully, we will recover next week and continue our journey. All right. Hope you like what you saw. Please do subscribe and like if you haven't already. And if you didn't like what you see, please give me another chance and hopefully you'll like the content on the next one. All right. Have a good one.